Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Welcome back to our Insecure Season 4 recap. Tonight, we are on episode 5, you guys. Episode 5 called Low Key Moving On. And was it some moving on?
Woo!
Now, let me tell you guys, you're in for a special treat. My sister and I are both busy during the days, and we did not get an opportunity to have our open conversation about what we felt about the episode
At all.
at all. So you are about to get all firsthand banter.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
about to get a look into how what we really do when we're talking and where it's a little unplanned. But listen, we think we're funny. So hopefully
I
you
think you're
think
great,
we're
sis.
funny. I think you're hilarious. And as always, I am Brittany, better known as Be Right Breeze, and I have my sister, better known as
The only Janiyah Wright.
Yes. So, as we do with all of our recaps for this season, we're going to start off with a nice little review recap of the actual episode, then get into some good questions. Take it
Mm.
away, sis.
Oh my goodness. That's really the recap. It's a series of
We're
five.
done.
Yeah. Because you know
And
what?
then a couple of these too.
Yeah, get them in there.
Okay, because that's what
Yeah.
we need.
Yeah. And eyes wide, mouth agape. Okay, because you know what? This episode brought us quite a bit to discuss. Okay. So first of all, this is the moment we have been waiting for. Okay. We have finally made it to the Market Street Block Party. This is Issa's idea of bringing a Coachella inspired event to Inglewood for local people, featuring local businesses. Okay. And
Okay.
featuring local talent. Okay. That is her vision. And guess what? This episode, it was finally happening. And the show has literally been building to this since the beginning of the season. Every single episode has been a countdown to this event. So we're here now. It's so exciting. And we can all breathe a sigh of relief because the event was a success. It was a complete success. Issa and her team of interns, okay, they were on it. Okay, they did an excellent job.
Yeah.
I mean, whenever an event planner can relax or like have a snack or like go and do the wobble for 5 minutes, your event is going well. You know, so it was just
going well.
logistically, it was a thing of beauty. You know, at first, you know, she was worried. I think we all were, because first it was only white people. And you know, that was not her vision. Her vision, part of her vision was like reaction to the gentrification of her neighborhood.
Yes. And her statement, she was like, they always finding us. Yes. I know.
Yeah, I know. And Nathan was like, they got people on the inside. But eventually it was just at the beginning. It was so the way they did. They had like white people playing frisbee. It was like, why are they doing this?
It was so perfect.
It was so real that all the white people were there as soon as it started, right? But later on, people of color started to show up, and you just saw it start to come to life. She was so full of anxiety, and again, let me just say, I have to give a shout out to her super intern, you know, Koya, who promoted herself to executive assistant. That actress, she actually stole the show. Every scene she was in. Okay. And that character was so beautifully written. We all know that intern. Maybe we were that intern. Okay. Overeager, doing too much, thinking you have a paid job. You don't. You're an intern.
Raising your own pressure to the point where your nose is bleeding. She
gets so excited. She was feeling so much pressure and excitement. The stakes were so high. But she just did a great job. You know, so all in all, the event went well. We were also worried about rain. No rain until the very, very end of the night after the event was shut down. So let's now talk about all of our main characters that showed up to support Issa and her event. Tiffany is there, okay, and her behavior, though, it does make you worried that she is not taking to motherhood in the way that we had hoped. You know, she makes a joke about, sometimes I just want to leave my baby in the grocery store. And then the baby is crying. The sitter calls her and Derek, and she sends Derek home to deal with it. She's like, I'm finally out having fun. I don't want to go. And so you're just worried. You're like, is this postpartum, or is this just good old resentment? Because we learned last episode that Derek and Tiffany, they weren't planning to have a baby anytime soon. So we don't want to go ahead and assign something there, but there's something very tricky going on. But Derek is stepping up. It seems like he's bearing a lot of the weight from a parenting perspective. Kelly is also there. She's on a date pretending to be British. And frankly, she is bickering with Amal, Issa's brother, in a way that is so hilarious.
Oh, they're dynamic. Like, I just wish I knew the root of their anger toward each other.
That's the
Part
thing.
of me doesn't even care because it's so funny. It's so funny.
And it is just like, how much of this is the writers and how much of this is ad-lib? Because this is comedic hilariousness. Okay? It's very well done.
Yes. And shout out to Amal. If you look him up, the real actor, he actually has a show that is going to be coming out soon. So,
oh really?
Listening as well. Yes,
I am happy to hear that. Instagram. I'm happy to hear that. I like him. I like him a lot.
He's so talented.
Well, segueing from people that we like, guess who had the nerve to appear out of nowhere, creeping about the shadows? Where you been?
Girl,
Condola. Okay, now
we can call her Condola today.
But don't get me confused. I just got it right. Don't get me confused. Y'all know I can't pronounce that name. I can't retain it.
My bad. Condola.
Thank you. Condola. Old boot. Condola. Got it. Now. So here she is.
Comment below about how that is not a good segue into her name, please.
And listen, that's no shade on names. Okay, my name is Janiyah. I don't shade names. Okay. But I did not. No commentary. I'm just doing a recap. Okay. She comes creeping out the shadows. Okay. Where you been? All right. And so it was nice of her to show up. She did a little vendor coordination for like 8 minutes. And then she's over there sulky in the corner. Issa sees her and they talk for a little bit. Issa's like, yeah, where you been? And she says that she broke up. She reveals that she did indeed break up with Lawrence, which we all suspected. Okay. But that still doesn't explain why you just like totally didn't show in the last couple of weeks, whatever. So they have a little moment, and the way that they kind of left things, it was like maybe they'll be in touch. But this was really breaking news. We find out a little later that even Derek didn't know that Lawrence and Condola broke up. And Derek and Lawrence are close, so we thought. So on the topic of Lawrence, guess who wasn't at Issa's event that she has been planning for months and months and months, and it is her rebirth as a person. Okay? Guess who wasn't there? Lawrence. Where you at? Guess who else wasn't there?
You at, yo?
Where you at? Where y'all at? Neither of them there. Also, her mother wasn't there, which I thought was strange. Why your mom ain't there? I didn't see any parents, like the adjacent kind of family members. Where's the extended family? But anyway, the point is Lawrence and Daniel weren't there. But guess what? We weren't hurting for men, because guess why? Nathan was there. Okay, Nathan was there, and let me say, Nathan has been working a plan because he has just been so cool. Okay, reaching out periodically. Okay, being in touch, sending her little supportive messages. I'm going to paraphrase. The messages basically say, "You go, girl," and he's been supporting her as she's been getting her business plan going. And we actually found out he's the person that she was talking to on the phone on the beginning of episode 1. Okay, when she said of this season, when she said that she didn't really fuck with Molly anymore, and we didn't know who she was talking to. She was talking to Nathan. Okay, so that mystery is
I would like to hype myself up because I knew it was somebody romantic. Okay,
you said Nathan's name. He was one of your guesses. I said them all. So clearly, I was not correct. And so he was just so supportive. And I will just say, of the entire clique, of the entire cast, he was the one that I feel was the most supportive in the episode. He said she was panicking, focus on all things that weren't going right, which was very minimal things. And he said, you know what? He said, it's happening. You're here. You did it. You know, be present. This is your vision. It's real. You know, live in that. Live in that. And I said, well, let me find out, Nathan. Okay, I might forgive you for your disappearing act. Might. Not yet. Now,
but I say he is putting in the work, honey, for forgiveness. He's putting in work.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's a way to avoid that work. Don't disappear.
Okay.
How about that? Okay. Anyway. So, but he's truly like a very supportive and caring energy. Consistently. He was even there to the very end of the event. He was the last person to leave, the very last person. And it turns out that they hadn't seen each other since they had officially kind of given each other space. So this was the first time seeing each other, but they had been in touch in a way of depth, at least enough for Issa to ask Nathan to talk to his roommate, Andrew, AKA Molly's boyfriend, to help get a connection to the person that she wanted to be her main, performer at the event. You know, she needed a big name. Andrew works at Live Nation. Molly, as you may recall, was unwilling to put Issa in touch with Nathan, with Andrew. Okay, because she was trying to put boundaries in her relationships, whatever. And so Issa did what she had to do. Okay, and she asked Nathan to put her in touch. Now,
about your business, that's what you
and
do.
Of course, Nathan put her in touch with Andrew, no problem. Okay, because they're friends, they're roommates. Andrew, okay, being a logical, friendly person, okay, and knowing Issa as Molly's best friend, acknowledging that they are in a tough moment, but that they are best friends, he stepped up and he sent the email. He sent the email to connect Issa to the person that ended up becoming her headliner for the event, and it all worked out. Now, unfortunately, all of this happened unbeknownst. I'm so grateful for an opportunity to use that word. I just was hoping for something to happen unbeknownst to somebody, because I just like to say it. All of this happened
unbeknownst.
That's right. It just tickles me in my soul. Unbeknownst to Molly. And so, it's a good thing. Yeah, unbeknownst to her. But it's a good thing that she didn't find out about this until the very end of the event. It was the event was over. Okay, people were leaving. And it's a good thing that she didn't find out until that point, because she was furious. As soon as she found out, she just starts, marching on over. She storms on over to Issa. And, and it was so unfortunate because throughout the episode, you kept seeing little glimmers of reconciliation. They shared some buffalo wings almost. They did a little bit of the wobble. Wobble, baby, wobble. Yeah, they did a little wobble. Yeah. And so you keep thinking, you know what? There's change coming in a good way. Not today. Not today. It's not, because again, because of everything that happened, unbeknownst to Molly, she goes and confronts Issa, and she says some horrible things. She says, you went behind my back. You didn't care about my feelings. I was trying to set boundaries. You're always selfish. You're always using people. I should have dropped you a long time ago. Issa tries not to engage, okay? And other people try to get Molly to simmer down. She will not be simmered, okay? And she keeps going.
No water putting on that.
Yeah. She was just like, she was a grease fire, because, you can't even put water on grease fires. I remember that in elementary school. Not at all. And so.
That was a bad day.
Yeah. And so Issa also said some things when they couldn't get her to simmer down. Issa said, well, actually, I'm going to have to engage that. And Issa says, listen, you saw me struggling. You knew this event was important to me, and you were willing to let me fail because of some arbitrary rule that you made up for your new relationship. She said, Molly, you create problems, and that you're constantly creating drama. You keep trying to tell me about my shit, and you need to worry about yourself. You love misery. I mean, she really just cuts it to the quick. Okay, as a certain generation would say, cuts it right to the quick. I mean, who knows what else they might have said if some random person in the crowd had me yell, "Hey, she got a gun!" And then the whole crowd dispersed and ran away, as you should when someone says, "Hey,
Please,
she got a gun." Please
please.
run. But who knows what else might have occurred? They were almost engaged in fisticuffs. That's how it looked.
They were about, they
So,
got close.
yeah,
They get your finger out my face. Listen,
yeah,
they're both from Inglewood.
yeah. Listen,
Don't
I,
get it twisted.
yeah. Listen, so yes, sis. I think that's it. You know, there's so much we never have time because we're trying to like get through the recaps quickly and get to discussion. There's so many little pieces we never get to talk about. We don't have time right now to talk about Thug Yoda. We don't have time right now to talk about that random newscaster. You know, she was so whack and hilarious.
Funny. These priceless pieces.
Oh, these little nuggets of just comedic writing genius. Yes. We don't have time. So that is it, sis. That's all my notes.
Sis, you did an amazing job with these notes. Okay. You really hit on a lot of things, which, listen, that is what our appetite and takes us right into these questions. Let's start off with number 1. Okay.
And y'all know Brittany be coming up with some good questions. And I have not had time to prepare my thoughts because we didn't have our pre-banter.
We didn't have it.
So let's just go, sis. Let's go.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Let's engage.
Will Issa and Condola ever resume their friendship or business partnership? Now, you guys, let me tell you something. My feelings when I saw Condola walk away, I look at things kind of like in poetry, kind of, more artistic in a way at times. And I feel as though Condola walking away and walking out of the screen, I feel like we're not going to hear from her anymore.
Really?
I feel as though we're done because you have Tiffany, who hasn't been in touch with her. She was like, I'm on maternity leave. Derek doesn't know anything about the situation. Issa is about to be in a place where she is trying to figure out, she had this amazing event, and now someone who we kept having to say to each other, or Molly kept having to say to her, I'm your best friend. You two have completely gotten into a place that you already know, in my opinion, has been brewing up for seasons. You finally got into this place. I just don't feel like Issa even has the capacity to manage what a new friendship needs. And then one that would have such a sticky background, meaning you were dating my ex and now you're not anymore for whatever reasons. And as your friend, I'm going to have those conversations with you. I don't feel like Issa's going to be in that space. So I feel like this is it for Condola. If she pops back up on the scene and maybe at another LA event where they just see her and it's going to be awkward energy, I don't believe that they're going to be who they were out laughing, getting tacos and all these different things. I don't think that that's going to happen anymore. That's just my guess. That's my guess.
Well, so far, your guesses have come true and mine never do. So, but I'm just still going to go ahead and throw a thought out there. So far, I think I've been like 99.999% incorrect with my guesses.
I don't like that percentage. I feel like
I think it's accurate.
I don't think it is.
I personally feel like she's coming back. There was a level of maturity of friendship that I saw in the two of them that I just really appreciated. I mean, I will never, to me, it was so telling that when Condola realized she had this new friendship and this new romantic relationship, she took a beat. She went to the romantic relationship, sought information, and then said, I need to think. Yep. She didn't make the easy choice. Okay. Which is, forget that girl. I'm gonna get this man.
I got a babe.
Which is frankly what I think a lot of people would have done.
Absolutely.
And I think we can all agree that making friends, like real friends as a grown-up, it's harder. It's
Oh, it's so hard.
it's harder. And
It's
so I
so
think that we
hard.
value those connections
Yeah.
when they're real. And so my forecast is that they will find their way back to each other.
Okay.
And I think it will happen when Issa and Lawrence talk, because we need to look under the hood. Okay? What went down? Okay? What went down that would have Lawrence not talking to Derek about it, have Condola, who has demonstrated her maturity, fall off the face of this very earth?
The planet.
Something dramatic happened in that conversation. And so
Something.
I think once we get into there, I think then new, mature, comprehensively thinking Issa
Yeah.
will re-engage.
Okay.
That is my yes.
Which
Locking it in.
listen, I like where you're going with that, because Insecure is good for going back and saying 2 days before the event, like they'll let you know.
Look,
something.
yeah, unbeknownst to you, viewing audience.
Unbeknownst, okay, this was going on in the background.
That's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So one part of me, which brings me into my next question, were you surprised that Lawrence and Daniel did not show up to the block party?
That was so whack.
Even as I was writing this, I said to myself, because the Insecure writers are amazing, I almost feel as though Daniel and Lawrence were at that block party. But I feel like what is going to happen is that each one of them separately saw her at times with Nathan. And they were both like, okay, exit stage left or right, I'm out of here. Like something tricky like that, because the petty energy between Daniel and Issa and the petty energy between Lawrence and Issa, gone.
Yeah.
They've all come to places where they respect each other. So I feel like they came, but for whatever reason, they did not engage with Issa for whatever reason. So I'm just looking forward to seeing those reasons why they were not there or why they didn't engage with her. What about you, sis? What are you thinking?
I just love making, again, just forecasts that are the opposite of yours so that I can that's my favorite thing. So Britt, I don't think they were there, because and it is because of what you said. You said you were talking about the way these relationships have positively evolved. And so part of what was so frustrating, and you know, so in my mind, it's like, if you're mature in your relationship, you can come celebrate somebody's win and not take up a lot of space. Yeah. I'm talking about a tap on the shoulder. Hey sis, way to go.
Yeah.
That's what I feel like. I just don't feel like Daniel, who would let her live on his couch in his bed indefinitely, wouldn't just go to her and say, "You did it, girl." I feel like he would. So we'll see. We'll see. But I was shocked. I was shocked that they didn't make they were there. I mean, but again, also, where was her mom? Why you ain't got mom? You somewhere with Sam? But yes, their absence was felt to me.
Yeah. But you know what? That's something that Insecure does that I think you're bringing up a good point, is that at some point, and I was actually reading a tweet about this, that millennials have created families. It's no longer like the nuclear family where there's a husband, wife, children. They have created families where it's out of friends that you are mainly being with and mainly hanging around with.
Yeah.
And it makes me wonder, is that something that is odd, that a parent doesn't show up to this type of event? Not that they weren't invited, but is it because maybe you didn't care whether they did or they didn't? Because the people that are important to you right now, not that your parents aren't important to you, but the community that you're in right now,
I hear you.
You know, them showing up has I I hate to say the word important, but just it has a little more weight right now
I
because
get
of where
that.
you are in life.
I get
And so
that.
it just makes me wonder.
That's a really good point. I wonder if we're going to get into any depth of story
Yeah.
about Issa's relationship with her mother. We only got a little
And
teaspoon.
with her father.
Yeah, there you go. We only
He's
have
out there somewhere.
a little teaspoon right now.
Yeah.
It was a good teaspoon because I was so happy to see that Wendy Raquel.
Listen,
But
give me them spoons. Give me them spoons.
but because they cast someone of her caliber, I feel like there is going to be more story there.
Yeah.
And maybe there's a little bit more context.
And maybe they had to introduce those stories because now you're not having Molly and Issa as your main story.
Wow.
You're about to bridge off into their separate lives, wondering if they'll come back together. And I know I was talking to my friend, she was like, they're gonna come back and be friends because there's no way that they're gonna kill Molly's character off the show. And I was like, but that's how great shows are. That's how great Insecure is. Insecure takes you into this world that each one of these people, we can watch them separately. Like that one time we had the scene with Daniel, with his sister and his niece. That was completely off from whatever else was going on, but it gave you a piece into his life, so I can appreciate that. Let's keep going. I got some more good stuff for us. Was Issa wrong for getting to Andrew through Nathan? So, listen.
That's a good one.
I'm a little bit, I'm a teeter-totter right here, right now, right? I'm like, on one hand, this event is about to happen.
Yeah.
My headliner that I've been doing everything correctly, which I think we're going to get back into that, how he broke that contract at some point. How he broke the contract, she's like, I'm right here. I'm at the cusp of this event. This event is happening. Flyers, I've gotten the donations. I have it. I have the vendors. What's going on? And I can see in that moment, and because she's in this new space of going after what she wants, you're finding other ways to get it done. So I heard her mind and her heart when she said, I respected that. You didn't want this crazy new rule that you just came up with. You didn't want to disrespect your relationship. You didn't want to do anything with that, and you wanted to keep the two separate, have boundaries. Cool. I get that. But understand, I still have to get done what I need to get done. And so, like Andrew said, because Andrew said it to like Molly as if a way to like calm down, like it was one email. Like Andrew was like, legitimately, it was one email. And even watching the main artist manager come out and thank Andrew, it lets you know that it was not just great for Issa, it was great for the artist as well.
Sure.
For him to be at that event. And so it was all a good thing.
Absolutely.
No one was hurt. Andrew didn't feel excited. He actually felt good and like he was doing a great boyfriend thing. He was like, oh, this is my girl's best friend. Like, one email, done. I'll do what I can. I know y'all a little off right now, but it's okay because that's still your best friend. So I don't think that, I think that Molly got upset because she didn't know. And I also think that Molly, it was like something where it was like, here's this thing. It's one thing that's going to tip the iceberg. Molly already had all this welling up. She's feeling left out. Issa's not talking to her. They haven't had that conversation. And you can kind of tell that Molly's love language is quality time. So it's like, she's not getting any of this with Issa.
Yeah.
And now you have this situation where I completely feel like, you know what? You've done the ultimate awfulness. But I think that if Molly was in her regular mind, she would have made a joke or something about it and said, oh, so you're just gonna go, okay, I got you. And then that would have been the end of it.
Yeah.
Because Issa would have said something like, girl, but this event was fly though, right? Thank you for having your man work at Live Nation. Just anything. It would have
Yeah.
been done.
Yeah.
It would have been nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that Molly, it was just building up
Yeah.
of so many things.
Yeah.
And so yeah, and I think also there might be some frustration in there of just relationship being hard. Her navigating and wanting her and Andrew to work. I think there are other frustrations that were in Molly's actions. She can't be angry at work if she's still upset a little bit at Torian or really upset about how she's making things work. You know, there are just certain things that Molly may have just had some things building up, and Issa was definitely a huge part of that, and it was just like,
Yeah.
I don't think Issa did the wrong thing. I just think that Molly just blew it out of proportion. But with
I agree with you. I agree with you. I think Issa did the right thing. There's
yeah.
a little something I've been reading about on all of my entrepreneurship related Instagram feeds.
Mm.
And it's a little something called beast mode.
Listen.
Okay. And everything I read
Listen.
about beast mode on Instagram, on Facebook, okay,
IG University,
through
Facebook
text messages
College.
from friends. Yes. Beast mode says, get it done. Okay. And that is what Issa was doing. She has discovered beast mode. She has finally found something in her life that gets her going.
Yes.
And she was in execution mode. And
Mm.
Molly being a barrier to her success was silly. And I'll tell you something about people in beast mode. They don't got no time for that. Okay. And so
Oh,
Molly,
look at that. My watch stopped because I don't have no time for it.
have literally no time. And so I think she did do the right thing. She had a barrier, she went around it. I think that Issa was not in the wrong. I also think Andrew, in helping her, it was the right thing to do. I personally feel like professional networking is something that people of color need to be a little bit more sophisticated with. I think that there's still a whole lot of I in professional advancements. And I think that looking to community, to network, to get business done, this is something where I think there are like these two extremes. People in our community are either excellent at it and they are thriving with it and they're making it happen and they're practicing cooperative economics and they're networking, or it's something that is so beyond them that it's like, I would never reach out to someone I've only met once so that they could help me. And so I think that, you know, it's a sophisticated way of thinking as a business person, and I think he's doing the right thing. I think Andrew, being a savvy businessman himself, had no problem with leveraging his connection.
Why not?
Why not? Where we fall down is Andrew, someone who is in at that point a good relationship with Molly, not coming to tell her right after. After he did it, he should have just said, Molly, I'm a grown man, so I don't need your permission. But I want to let you know I did something, and I think that
that would have been good.
it's something that we have to process together. And I think if he had come to her on that first day that it happened, she still would have lashed out, because obviously she's prone to lashing out. But she would have done it in the right direction, because the only person here who violated a relationship was Andrew. You know, I think Molly violated her relationship with Issa by being a barrier, and Andrew violated his relationship with Molly by not just telling her what he did. But it also speaks to their relationship, because it's like y'all still don't have good communication.
It's new.
It's new.
For you to be my top priority, like she said, I said, honey, that's 5 minutes in.
Yeah.
We're 5 minutes in. You top priority?
Yeah.
Okay then.
Yeah.
Sometimes we gotta be careful. Do we want relationship more than we actually want relationship with the person we're with? What are we risking?
Yeah.
Anyway, next question, y'all.
Next question.
Well, actually, we've already really talked about this, but I'll still pose it, which is, how do you feel about Molly's words, her heart, and her actions during the episode? I think we touched a lot about Molly, and I know I said a lot about it, about what she's how she acted, what she did. And I think that one thing I do just want to put is that Molly is hurt. And when you are hurt, you do act out. Some people go in, and then there's some people that act out. And Molly is not transitioning well to losing who someone she kept saying, well, I'm your best friend. So I think that, and even in the episode where she's getting dressed and she's talking to Andrew, which, by the way, Yvonne Orji, keep working out, honey. Whatever you're doing, you look good.
Yeah,
okay, you do. Andrew listening to his character, him being the perfect guy. Okay, let's not go there. She's like, what? It's my best friend. I have to go. Her having this mindset, and even being at the event, and Andrew being able to say to her, look at all she's had to do, basically giving her understanding, helping her to understand Issa's not just dodging you because she don't like you. She has had a lot on her plate. Basically give her some grace. Just as you have had a lot on the plate. But we also know from Molly's rant that Issa didn't show up to an event after they had won a case. So these are just things I all in all, just want to say, I just think Molly is hurt. She's hurt that there's the change. There's new. Things are shifting. And change and shift, especially in relationship, is so uncomfortable. It's so uncomfortable. So it makes me think about when the earth shifts and you have an earthquake. Like, those things can happen. And it can, sometimes it's just a little tremor and it's like, whoa. But then sometimes buildings fall. People get hurt.
Yeah.
And so that's just what I think about how Molly's she's hurt. She's upset.
I don't want to say, I mean, I don't want to I don't disagree with you.
No, sure.
She's hurt, but I think more than that, to me, it feels more like a tantrum from a spoiled child. It feels more like jealousy. I think about, so there are, and we've talked about, like, and I think most people I talk to see themselves in these characters. I see myself in Issa so much. I mean, so much. Talking to yourself in the mirror, making up random songs on the spot to communicate your feelings. Even her general awkwardness seems a lot like me. But there's something that I also see in myself in Molly, and I think Molly this is something that she and I have in common, is just like being professionally motivated to be good at your job. But that is different from whatever this passion is that Issa has for this block party. And I think that being professionally motivated is wonderful, but I also think that it is not necessarily as fulfilling as, this, finding a life's, passion and then executing. So I think she's jealous, and I also think that she's used to being the shiny star, and she doesn't want somebody else to be shiny.
Girl,
so I think
it's said it before. She don't like it.
It's jealousy. It's hateration. Okay, and we don't need none of that in this dancery. We don't.
That Mary said that.
She was very.
Mary was very clear about the dancery.
She said what was appropriate and what
very
was
clear,
and we didn't need any hateration there. So I think I'm not giving Molly as much virtue as you are. You're giving her this grace of, like, she's hurt and acting out. I think she's jealous and acting out, and I think she's hating and acting out. So I also think this friendship is over. Part of it is that I have seen now these promos for Yvonne Orji. She's now, her stand-up comedy career is like kicking way off. And so it's almost like she's parlaying now. It's like she's on to the next thing. So we'll see. But it looks like there's a sunset. Yeah.
Oh, that is good, sis. Paralleling the show to what's happening in real life. That is so true. That
Mm-hmm.
is so true.
Yeah.
And I think, but my question then would be, can you be hurt and jealous?
Yes.
And I think that's what it is. I think she's
I think
hurt.
you can.
It's her bestie, but you already know. I've said before in the past that Molly is used to giving Issa and being the winner, basically being the breadwinner,
Yep.
and Issa needing her
Shining
because
star.
her words when they were arguing, you use people, you just now that's leaving Issa now with moments of like, so when I was asking you for something as my friend, you felt like I was using you? But it shows you these emotions that
Yeah.
have all over. So,
Mm,
oh, girl, that's deep. That's
yeah.
deep.
Yeah.
Let me see. Well, actually, we don't even need to get into this next question because already talked about it. Do you believe Issa and Molly can or will mend their relationship? I think, sis, you're like, no, it's not going
I
down
say no.
in these streets.
I say
Um,
no. I think
yeah.
I think that they
Mm-mm.
may not leave with bitterness, but I think they will sunset.
Yeah.
I think they will sunset.
Yeah, I think she's gonna have a conversation, maybe like how she had with Lawrence
Mm-hmm.
at the end of what was that, season one,
Mm-hmm.
where it was like, we're good now. We're
Yeah.
not in the same place we were. And
Yeah.
the question then becomes also in situations and circumstances like that, were we ever? I don't know.
Yeah.
I
And
don't know.
it's so interesting. And again, who knows? But in addition to like noticing that Yvonne Orgy is like parlaying, I also
Mhm.
noticed that in the earlier seasons of Insecure, the promos were just Issa. And for this season, for season 4, it was Issa and Molly. And the blurb
Mhm.
said two Black women, blah, 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 life in LA. Whereas for
Mhm.
seasons 1 through 3, it was like Issa, it was like, a Black woman, blah, 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 tracing through life in terms of like the HBO blurb for the show.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's like, are they
Yeah.
are they just adding complexity to the relationship and then keeping it going or what? Who knows?
Man,
Anyway, this
I
is,
feel like it's gonna be.
yeah,
I feel like it's gonna be levels.
it's
I feel
gonna
like it's gonna be levels. I think it's gonna be because Insecure is so good at being real. You don't just come back from an argument like that.
you
You
don't.
just don't. You
But
don't.
it was just
You don't
so
have a.
selfish.
It's messy.
But it was so selfish to have to
So
confront her right then. That's
at the
like you're
event,
so selfish. Like it's just like timing. Like, why did you do that? And
and
it
it was
has to be said. It has to be said. She traipsed herself on over to Issa, want to engage in fisticuffs, but Andrew, all he has to say is, "I'm sorry, and I won't do that again." And she hugs him, and it's over. And it's like, what?
again going back to that question. Are you wanting the person you're in the relationship with, or do you just want relationship? This
And
is
why is the criteria so different to qualify for forgiveness and understanding? And
girl.
why would you be so selfish? Part of it is like, it's her going back to just again, that arrogance of whatever Issa's doing is less important than me.
And I want everybody to know I am not like Team Molly or Team Issa. I've actually created my own team of Team Issa and Molly because part of me wants their friendship to come back, but just healthy. But I also feel like
Sis, I'm checking. Sis, I just want you. I'm checking the list of people who are authorized to create teams. I don't see your name here. So I'm just going to check one more, just do a double check. I'm going to check under Brittany. I'm going to check under Wright. And I don't think
that's odd because I'm actually the president of Intergalactic Team Making.
Oh, okay. You're right. Because this is the Earth list.
Exactly.
And so you're on the broader.
And it supersedes everyone.
Got it.
You're welcome.
Got it.
It gets confusing.
So that clarifies.
It gets confusing.
That
it gets
clarifies
confusing.
it.
But
So please go ahead. I apologize for interrupting you, Your Highness.
It's okay. It's okay. It happens. But I'm humble. You know, I'm just a little me, okay? I'm little old me. I'm humble.
You are. Yes, you are.
But as the intergalactic team maker, I'm president of it. I have created Team Issa and Molly. So I have, we told you we're going to get how we really are. Because I want them to be friends, but I just want them to be friends healthy.
Yeah.
But let me tell you something, that is some digging, because those are roots that they're going to have to dig up that they have been having. And something I did watch was the Insecure Wind Down, and they mentioned imposter syndrome. And so you have Issa, who is experiencing this. How awesome would it be someone to have your best friend to come alongside you and say, girl, you got this. But in real life, even your two friends that are not the closest to you are the ones that are helping you out and hype you up. Being honest with you, Kelly, like, girl, I just didn't think and I didn't understand why you were doing this. But you know, I was here, but I just didn't understand. They're there on time, they're early.
Yeah.
They're there for the whole event.
Yeah.
Your friend comes at whatever time, and just her attitude the entire time, it was just really awful. And I think that sometimes we can, which I feel like Molly was doing, sometimes we look so much at how something is affecting us and we don't look at the other person. So, but let me tell you, we this one, you guys, last question. We gotta go. To wrap it all up.
How many questions is that like 100 questions?
Listen, 87. What are your which really, again, we've already talked about this, but it's on here. So what are your thoughts on already know our hashtag Maldrew. So what are your thoughts on Maldrew's interaction before, during, and after Molly and Issa's fight? One thing I will say, because we already talked about so much, I was more so looking at their interaction after the fight. I think this is something that they were showing for, in my opinion, for Black women. That we're allowed to be angry too, be flawed too, act immaturely, act poorly, be selfish. We're allowed to be all these things and still deserve love. Even though Molly had just been awful, she was like, if there was a definition of awful and I had a picture, it'd be like Molly, like, in her law office.
Yeah.
Like, she was the perfect definition of not being a great friend.
I added her photo.
Listen.
I actually sit on
I saw that.
The Intergalactic Dictionary. And we were just auditing the A's. And I said, I've got the perfect infographic for awful. And I added Molly because she was awful. And this
You're so good. You're so good. She was awful. But to watch Andrew give her what she should have given in that moment, which was, I'm pretty sure her and Andrew are going to talk about this later. That's my hope, about her actions and how she was wrong. Because we know Andrew has no issue bringing up when Molly is wrong. He is not afraid of her at any point. He is ready to go blow for blow. Let's go.
Yeah.
But Andrew comforting her in that moment, helped her to know you're still human. You were this moment was wrong, but you're still human. And everything you did does not disqualify you from receiving forgiveness, love, hope, anything that will bring you out of this moment in a healthy way. And so I just appreciated that interaction with them, because oftentimes Black women were characterized as angry and all these different things, and especially Molly being a dark-skinned Black woman, you're getting all of these things. And so for her at the end of this episode to still have some sort of affirmation, I thought was beautiful. And I appreciate how they did that. I do. I really do.
Well, I agree with that. I agree with that in terms of thematic takeaway. But in terms of like their actual, the hashtag Muldrew relationship.
Yes.
I think that they have moved into a wonderful level of familiarity. She was throwing out clothes on the bed and he was like, we both know you're going to wear that leotard.
Right.
And she was like, it's a jump.
It's a jump.
Whatever she said. It was
I love that.
Like that. But so that level of commonness is nice because that's relationship progress where you've like, you're in a life rhythm with someone. Mm-hmm. But I will also say, not being honest with each other, that there's no depth. I just feel like what's the same?
Right now.
A relationship is real when you can keep it real. And when did we start seeing Molly and Issa's relationship fall apart? It was when they couldn't be honest with each other. Mm-hmm. So I don't know. I know Molly and Andrew, they're growing together and they're learning how to be in a relationship, and that is wonderful, and I celebrate that. But I also say that, at this point, you're common enough to guess my outfits, but you're not being honest. It's, to me, they may not have made as much progress as they think they've made.
It was right at the end of the argument. He doesn't, let's wait till tomorrow. Let's wait till you sleep on it. You've calmed down, had some coffee in the morning, and now you were wrong. Let's just start there, Molly, because that's where we need to start, is that you were wrong. But let her have her night. Let her just have the night. That's it. What she should have given Issa. Let Lisa have her night. And then tomorrow, so you asked Andrew when I told you not to, instead of going, and I feel like Andrew apologized to make the moment simmer down. He didn't want to make it any worse. And I feel like they're going to have that conversation. And that conversation, she doesn't like to be told about her business and what she does. That's going to be another bad argument she's going to have.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I have so much to say on this. I know we got to go.
We gotta go. You guys, we're so sorry. Listen, we're clearly past what we.
So much to say on this.
We've almost gotten into our refresher time mode. So sorry, you guys. But there was so much. This is what happens when we don't talk before. We won't do it to you again.
Yeah, I haven't sorted my thoughts because I have 18,000 of them. About
18 million. We appreciate you guys for making it to the end of this review with us and just talking with us. My hope is that you were talking to us as you were watching this, saying, oh, no, I feel this. Everything that you were talking about and you were thinking about and answering those questions as we put them out there, we want you to put them down in the comments. And we also want you to subscribe to both of our YouTube pages. So Janai, let them know where they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram and on Facebook at The Only Janai Wright.
Yes. And you can find me at Be Right Breeze on all your popular social media platforms. That is Facebook, IG, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. Just out there having a good time and having fun. So you guys, thank you again so much for joining us. This has been our Insecure Season 4, Episode 5 recap, Low Key Moving On. You guys have a good night.
Bye. Thank you.